Hello, and welcome to our final step for the barg plate practice for our cat. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to come in and complete the rest of our follow-through lines. So we've got a couple spaces that we don't have drawn out for ourselves yet, and one of them is the mouth. So I am going to give myself just a line coming from the corner, and you can follow along with me, and I'm going to border in those teeth. So I want to connect where they're all touching along their gums. So I am gonna kind of like go a little bit over the top of that white tooth, that big one, and then I'm just gonna connect the bottom gum lines. So we're going to draw this line in, and at this point, I think it's very helpful to go through and draw these lines just while you're adding them so that you don't forget to add them. Because it's easy with the follow through lines for the box when we go from corner to corner to go through and add them afterwards, but I think at this point it is very helpful to come in and add those little marks this way. So we're gonna do one line at a time. So we're adding in this little jaw line. We connected that, so let's draw that in so we don't forget where it comes from. All right, so there's our jawline. We also need to show ourselves the teeth on this side, and something that I've noticed with this picture specifically is that we can make the teeth touch the eye or the pupil inside of the eye, which is very helpful because then we'll know that's right where that pupil starts. So we want to line it up with the right edge of the pupil and the teeth. So let's go ahead and draw that line in. And like I said, we're going to copy each of these lines as we do them so that we don't forget to add them in or get confused afterwards because it is starting to get a little complex. So we've got that little line we're gonna add in. We're measuring so that we can see where it touches compared to the box. And then I connect those marks so that I can see right where the pupil is, right where the teeth are. And it looks like we've got just about everything bordered. So we're gonna check, we've got the border around the eye on both sides. We've got the nose bordered, the edge of the mouth, the opening of the mouth. I feel like we are pretty much there, so we're gonna call it at that point. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to come in and we're going to look in just one section at a time, and we're going to start drawing things in. Now, here's the start of my ear, and it just kind of touches all the way through and drops down a little bit right here. So I'm gonna come in and just start sketching this out. I see that in this little space, I've got a bit of a curve, so I can add that. Now, here's where this eye shape is going. And I've got this line that's almost touching my pupil. And I see that right in this little section is like a corner. So I'm gonna draw that, and then here's my pupil coming up. And I'm gonna add this little highlight within that space. And we've also got like the little bit of the top of the eye coming out, and then it comes all the way to this corner and stretches out and then comes back up. So we're using these lines to help us draw this more accurately. So here's the little eyelash section and then the lid that's coming in. Now we've got our nose right in this space beneath it, and I see that I've got like the nostril comes out a little bit over here, and then we've got the nostril that comes out over here and kind of wraps around. Now we're gonna come into the center right here, and that's where the beginning of the nose is. We can kind of wrap this around and show ourselves. Here's the nose. Now we are coming down, and we've got a little bit of space here for the mouth, and the tooth goes here, the tooth goes here. We've got a little bit of a smile coming out on this side, the tooth goes here, the tooth goes here. And we have these two teeth that you might want to come in and like give yourself another measurement for, but I could also just come in through here and say, okay, how far out until that first tooth is bigger? And I can say, okay, it touches right here. So now here's my taller tooth, and it comes out a little bit farther, stretches across, and then this tooth is like within that little section. Here's these like little rows of teeth. We've got this cheek kind of coming out to here, and then our gum section. Now I'm gonna hop over and draw the other eye. So I see I've got this little triangle down at the bottom. It kind of hops out on the other side of this line. Here's the top eyelid, and I see that it touches almost all the way through here. I've like got this little stretched out space. So I'm gonna come in and add the next line, and that is kind of going all the way out. And then this lifts up just near the bottom here and kind of curves up and around. And then we've got the pupil that doesn't touch the top of the eye. We've got a highlight that's like a sharp sliver and then a white dot. Now, you can see that by going through and adding those lines, it helped me to get the proportions to be so accurate, and I can add them very quickly. So I am just gonna come in now and start adding some of the specific stripes. So I see there's this white patch under his eye, and then we've got the cheek that stretches out to about here before we've got this patch of stripes coming in. And we've got the 1, the 2, the kind of 3. So I'm just like bordering in where the basic shape of these stripes will go. So I'm adding in these little stripes. We kind of have it come in and it goes all the way underneath the chin. So kind of like a wavy little line here. And then we've got another coming in from this, just a little bit above that intersection. And then it touches just like right here to make that chin. And that comes around for the cheek. We've got the cheek, and then we've got this stripe that's kind of like leaves that white space underneath this eye, and then rounds out and gives a little point here. And we've got a little bit coming in here, and then a few little scratchies on top. Now, once you reach this point, and I know that was kind of a lot to watch, but once you reach this point, you are going to go through and erase all of your extra barg plate lines, and you're going to perfect your details so that they match a little bit closer to what we're going for. All right, thank you guys so much for watching.